Thank you for all the nice presentations. I think we're going to enter the panel discussion right away. And we have Aude Pélisson-Schecker to be our moderator for today. So I think you already received the first questions. So please just go ahead, Aude.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction. So my name is Aude Pélisson-Schecker. I'm an innovation manager at KIT with a focus on energy technologies. So I'm very happy to be here today with you. And I have 10 years of experience in the technology transfer and international cooperation. So it's even better to see here this actual project between Chile and Germany. So we will have to short a little bit our panel discussion. I'll try to focus a little bit on some points that were not mentioned maybe so far or not deeper so far. And I'll try also to balance a little bit whom I am asking the question, but I also ask my panelists maybe also to raise your hand or tell me if you really have some point you want also to react on. We can do it in quite dynamic way. We will have some time at the end for a few questions from the audience. I already put some message here in the chat, so please do not hesitate to type some question in the chat so that we can take them into account and make it also as dynamic as possible and just not talking in front of you, but everybody is very welcome to participate, and we're trying to include those questions and maybe have a few minutes for direct questions at the end as well. Maybe I can introduce shortly our panelists and especially the ones that didn't speak so far. So we have 5 panelists today. Professor Thomas Hirth, you already heard him, Vice President of Innovation and International Affairs at KIT, leading green hydrogen initiatives at KIT. You will know Dr. Erwin Plett as well, Director of Hirth Chile, and also Green Hydrogen Ambassador for the Minister of Energy in Chile. We also had Dr. Francisco Gracia from Universidad de Chile. New here for as a speaker for today is Camilo Áviles. Welcome. He was recently appointed as head of the new energy carrier unit at the Ministry of Energy in Chile. Before he was project leader for electricity markets and regulation area at SYSTEP. So welcome. And we have also Dr. Marcela Angulo. I'm not sure I see you. Yes, I see you now. She's director of the Universidad Concepción and the unit of Santiago, and former manager of technological capacities at Corpo, the Chilean Authority for Economic Development, in charge of the technological centers, collaborative research and development consortium programs. So welcome everybody to this panel discussion. We already heard a lot about, we already had already a few words about Chile initiatives for the National Green Hydrogen Strategy, announced last November, and also about the very high potential of renewables in Chile, and about production of hydrogen, green hydrogen in Chile. Maybe, Mr. Áviles, could you summarize for us what are the main steps and milestones in this very ambitious program for the next years? Them of maybe production, transport, storage, and also in terms of infrastructure.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm Camilo Áviles, head of the New Energy Carriers Unit. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the Ministry of Energy. So just answering for your question, I mean, last November of 2020, we released our national green hydrogen strategy. Of course, it has very ambitious goals by 2030, by 2025, and also by 2050, of course. Just to give a brief context, I mean, we are aligned to climate change commitments, right? I mean, at COP, we adopted our NDC, right? Our national determined contributions to reduce the impacts of climate change. And now we're aiming carbon neutrality by 2050. Yeah. So for that, I mean, why we decide to release this green hydrogen national strategy is because we want to develop a green hydrogen industry to reduce the 21% of what Erwin said in his presentation of greenhouse gases emissions by 2050. Like that's the main reason, you know. We see that green hydrogen is the key to achieve that. So it's with some specific objectives related to the strategy. It's well, we want to achieve 5 gigawatts of capacity of electrolyzers by 2025. We want to create an industry that might be valued almost close to what the mining is valorized nowadays. We want to be one of the main exporters of green hydrogen and its energy carriers as well, green ammonia, liquid hydrogen, methanol, and so on. Of course, we know that green ammonia will play a key role in this decade, but of course, we see that liquid hydrogen also will be like the energy carrier that we want to foster in the following decades. And of course, we want to develop a domestic industry. Of course, this decade is so important for that. We want to receive the biggest amount of investors to come to Chile and develop their projects as the same as electricity market, which as Erwin said some days ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we achieved like one of the lowest costs of energy in a public action. So then once we develop our domestic industry, of course, we want to be exporters. So we have to now start to talk with investors, with countries. We have signed MOUs with the Port of Rotterdam. We have signed declarations of interest with France, with Germany, with Port of Hamburg. So we're doing a lot of things like to achieve this main goal, that is to reduce to do something more related to climate change. I don't know if I have answered your question.
Yes.
Or at least for me.
It was just to have this general overview. Thank you very much. About maybe the main application, I'd like also to hear Mrs. Angulo a little bit about the application maybe in industry and mining. We also heard a few words also about mining application in the talks we had before, but maybe can you give your perspective on this topic?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question, and thank you for the opportunity to share with you some thoughts about the opportunities that we have in Chile and with a green hydrogen economy. And I completely agree with the other panelists and the presentations that we have, especially with Erwin Plett context presentation in terms of the opportunities of our country. And following the main topics that the national strategy has pointed out as the short-term possibilities, I completely agree that Chile has a huge opportunity to be a global leader in terms of producing and exporting big scale amount of hydrogen or derivatives or ammonia or other products based on hydrogen. But I would like to point it out a kind of more endogenous or domestic opportunities that we have, because hydrogen can also be a driver for decarbonization and for competitiveness, of course, of our main industries, especially the industries that exports their products to markets that are being increasingly sensitive to the carbon footprint, and especially in the mining sector and some other industries. So, for example, pulp and paper industry, where Chile has a very also a leading position, and also all the agricultural or the food industry that goes to markets that are being very aware or the carbon footprint, in general the environmental footprint. So that's why I think that here we have a lot of opportunities to work together with Germany, because following the examples of the green steel initiatives, Germany, also Sweden, also Japan are working to reduce this zero carbon or zero emission or green steel, and using hydrogen as a reduction material for these minerals. Here in Chile, we have the opportunity to also use the technologies based on hydrogen to reduce the carbon footprint for the whole mining sector, in the scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 of the carbon footprint. In scope 1, there are the direct emissions. We have the opportunity to use a similar approach, and as Dr. Karlsruhe showed what Universidad de Concepción is doing in developing a completely new process based on hydrogen for the oxidation and reduction of copper concentrates, that follows what the steel industry is doing internationally. But also we can use hydrogen for mobility in dual fuel, dual engines, with the diesel and hydrogen, or also using fuel cells for the mining equipments. So there's a lot of possibilities there. And of course, in the supplies for the mining industry, for example, the explosives that are based on ammonia, and so we can produce green ammonia to reduce, green explosives, and with these initiatives help to decarbonize one of the big emitters. So we have also similar opportunities in industry, especially in our region where the Universidad de Concepción is based. We have a leading in the pulp and paper industry, so we have a lot of possibilities there. And also we have cement plants, iron and steel, and also a petrochemical industry, all in a very concentrated piece of land. So the possibilities to create what Germany has been doing in terms of creation of these hydrogen valleys or hydrogen hubs, where you can use the economies of scales, and then you can create a collaborative approach to make the green hydrogen more competitive in the short term, is a possibility. So I think that here I see a lot of possibilities to work together. And for example, in Germany, we are following the experience of the Hamburg hub of hydrogen, how you are organizing, how you are connecting the dots in order to have a common project that can be a win-win for all the participants.
Thank you very much. It was really interesting what you told right now. Maybe Mr. Gracia, can you tell us a little bit more about, also on your point of view, about the focus for further future technological development, and maybe the main challenges you see for the industry, for the application right now?
Thank you. Yeah, I've been thinking since my short talk and about the rest of the talks, especially when Dr. Plett illuminated us at the beginning, telling us that the hydrogen is exporting well-being. And I'm comparing the experience. I'm trying to look how many people work, for example, in KIT, and I'm looking all the different projects we have shown here in Chile. And I realized that in order to be a world leader, in order to project what will be a hydrogen economy or a hydrogen society, we need to grow together. We need to work together. We need to get together and start thinking as a country or as a society. For example, we have a lot of similarities in the projects with University of Concepción. And my best friends there are there already, so we know what we work in each other. For example, we have the green mining, we have the productions in different industries, but our way of life here in Chile is each university works almost alone. It doesn't talk very much. So what I think that I'm realizing that this huge opportunity that IECO is providing us, especially KIT, is maybe you can help us to get together, to grow along and start doing real research or real technology transfer from a bigger number of people. I mean, developing something. For example, I have the best example in the solar energy. 10 years ago, there was some people, I mean, there is a lot of people talking about solar, but now it's a real thing in Chile. And one main reason for that is in those days, 8 universities get together to form the Solar Energy Center, along with Fraunhofer Institute and other government companies as Fundación Chile. And now the solar subject is something in the country. If we really want to get the hydrogen to be a national theme, I guess is the need to start working, to start collaborating and start talking and put the workforce we have in our institutions and go along. And in that case, I'm realizing that these IECO days will offer us a real nice platform and opportunity to talk, to develop and think about it. The same question you mentioned, we need to do transfer, we need to do research, we need to test all the technologies that are coming to the country because the money that government is putting on electrolyzer technologies or solar energy. We need to prove and adapt all those technologies to our reality. Okay, the solar radiation in Chile is not the same as any other country. There are some singularities, and we need to adapt all the technology. So we need to start thinking on the society. And I also like the people that Dr. Angulo mentioned, that hydrogen is a driver. We at the University of Chile, we really think that hydrogen, it is a fuel, but it's not a natural fuel. So you need to get it from somewhere else. But it's the opportunity, it's the driver to really explode what the potential of Chile is, what is the renewable energies. Chile should be and must be, it's got the obligation to be a world leader in renewable energies. And hydrogen, I think, is one of the main drivers to put us in that way. So now I'm thinking and looking at all the presentations, I really thank this opportunity of IECO days because I think it will provide us a platform to think and move along, hopefully all together.
Thank you. This gives me an opportunity maybe to give the word to Thomas Hirth. Where do you see some opportunities for collaboration, maybe some synergies with our own strategy in Germany?
So many thanks for the opportunity to talk to you, and I would like to thank all the people from Chile for their very interesting presentations, where you offered us several possibilities for cooperation. I have to say that this year, the German Minister for Economy and Energy has signed a contract with the Chilean Ministry on cooperation in the area of renewable energies and hydrogen. And I think that's very important for a country like Germany, who is a technology-oriented country and which imports a lot of energy as well as raw materials. So therefore, international cooperation is a key and essential part of the hydrogen strategy of the state of Germany, as well as of the state of Baden-Württemberg. And here in Baden-Württemberg, we have a very strong focus on the transformation of the automotive sector, where we have 3 major pillars, which one is also addressing the hydrogen society. So first is, or 2 of them are, we have the batteries, we have the fuel cells, and for the fuel cells we need hydrogen. And the third one is renewable fuels or e-fuels, where we also need hydrogen in order to convert the CO2. And I think Germany has developed a lot of very interesting technologies, and Mr. Plett mentioned the ammonia synthesis, which was first developed in Karlsruhe, and I can also say the Fischer-Tropsch synthesis. The main parts are developed in Karlsruhe, and it's a German technology, and we have in Karlsruhe very good experiences with the micro-reaction technology of Fischer-Tropsch, and this is, from my point of view, a very excellent possibility for cooperation. On the other side, Baden-Württemberg has strong interest on the development of green refineries, and therefore what means that we use different raw materials like CO2, biomass, as well as waste. And we want to convert them with hydrogen to valuable products. And there are two at the moment that we will follow two strategies with hydrogen use in Fischer-Tropsch synthesis as well as in methanol synthesis. So therefore, this is a good opportunity for cooperation. And the idea is to use hydrogen or intermediate products from other countries which have a much more better access to energy, and for example to low energy prices like Chile, so that we can import this intermediate products that is from an industrial perspective of interest. On the other side, and I think all of you have mentioned that you are working on very interesting areas of conversion and use of hydrogen. I think that is a good opportunity to work together in the framework of the IECO project. So I think hydrogen, well, for example, with combination with what has been mentioned in the last presentation with geothermal energy, is of interest for us. So I think we should continue with this. So then, for example, IECO can be a catalyst for the Chilean German cooperation, and I think that will be also a good idea within the programs of Germany as well as of the state Baden-Württemberg. It is clearly addressed that we need this international cooperation. So therefore, that's a good chance for us to jump in and to make proposal for these large programs. I think that is of interest for Chile, for Germany, as well as for the state of Baden-Württemberg and for KIT and all the Chilean universities. So I think we should use this chance, and we should think about this pillar within the IECO framework to strengthen our cooperation in the area of hydrogen. I think that is a good opportunity, and I think we should use this chance.
Thank you very much. I see that time is flying right now, but I like to address maybe two, three more points. One is you already talked about it, Mr. Hirth. It's about collaboration and enabling collaboration. I don't know, maybe Mr. Áviles, or do you want to comment maybe on this, on enabling cooperation between Chile and Germany?
Sorry, yeah, I was trying to mute the microphone. Yeah, I mean, we're currently seeing a large number of initiatives rising from local academia in coordination with the private and public sectors to tackle a number of challenges that we see. And of course, we have to learn from the initiatives that Germany is doing, at least in related to transport with regards to H2 mobility. That is like the largest refilling station in the world, I think. I mean, I just read that the last week. I don't know if it's still like that, but at least the initiatives that we are trying to pursue are focused on industrial piloting and accompanying like project development I don't know, such as co-developing the deployment of fuel cell electrical buses, for example, in the north. So there are a lot of advantages that we can take from these initiatives, and of course, we are keen on like developing this technical capacities between Chile and Germany, and for sure, this instance that Kit has organized and I have invited from Lorenzo Reyes, who invited me to participate here, are spectacular to foster this kind of initiatives. So I think that there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things to do, and this is a big step, like to just discuss about the problems that are arising. And here in Chile, as we are not part of the, we cannot receive more financial aid because we are not a country of ODA, official development assistance anymore. So for us, it's very interesting to see another ways of how we can learn from the countries like Germany. Yeah, that's for now.
Thank you. Maybe Mr. Plett, you could also add something on that, and maybe also for training program, but already in general for international cooperation.
I would love to help Camilo in that. I know as a country, we're now on the grown up trying to be OECD, but the nice thing is that the German hydrogen strategy has two terms. One is 7 billion euros to spend on R&D. And I would love to say to Professor Hirth, we can help you to spend money, the 7 billion. So we are, of course, offering the help to spend that money that KET will get. I hope a lot of that. And on the other side, the other 2 billion euros is for making strategic partners. This is something that has to do with geostrategic. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So Germany is, of course, helping also Chile. We got the first 8 million euros for the Harujoni project in Patagonia, which is something I love. Being a chemical engineer, of course, is good to make other molecules out of that. 2 days ago, I read there is a nice initiative in the Emsland for making aviation kerosene. So just have a carbon neutral kerosene for planes. That's nice. Yeah. And that is exactly what we're doing in Patagonia to make fuels.
Yeah.
E-fuels. So our help is there. If you have money to spend, just come over to us and we will find something just to help you out. No, it's important because you see, we have also this Clean Energy Institute up in Antofagasta building. And so we have a few initiatives. What Diego also mentioned, this brine mine initiative, which is done by Professor Kohl and Fraunhofer. It's very interesting because you see these geothermal plants are very nice. I love them, but they're too expensive. But if you, instead of selling electricity, you can sell the ions. And we just took a look at that. There is 1.5 billion yearly in cesium. So of course you don't have to, you have to put back the water, but you can keep the ions. And that is mining just in brines. It's fabulous. So this is just a very nice initiative from KET and their possibility. So I'm very happy to have you here to see what we can do in cooperation, Professor Hirth.
I see a raised hand from Mr. Hirth, maybe.
Yes. Thank you very much for the invitation to jointly spend together the money which is coming from the government. So I think we have addressed it several times to the government, and so we are very happy that both countries have signed this framework agreement, which helps us to apply for some money. And I think as you mentioned before, I think the best thing is that we match our ideas as well as our technology approaches. I think that is very important, so that at the end we can help each other. And you mentioned also the project of this plan, which was presented to the public yesterday. And what is not so mentioned in the newspapers as well as in the news, that the core of the technology is based on technology which is coming from Ineratech, which is the startup of KIT. So, and that is what I mentioned before with the micro-reaction technology. And I think KIT has a lot of experience with the characterization of these products which came out of such a fuel plant. So that is something what we can address together. So I think these hydrogen alliance between Germany and Chile can be a good idea, not only in the production of the hydrogen, but also in the application of hydrogen for different areas. And I think, and that is what I would like to mention and to propose, that we make a proposal on a hydrogen industrial cluster between both countries based on scientific approaches, so that we should think about more the next generation hydrogen processes in the production of hydrogen, as well as in the use of hydrogen, so that we should look on the whole value chain of hydrogen, and we should make a proposal on this. I think that is a good opportunity. And the link to other industrial sectors would also help us. And this is, I think, a good approach. And that is also what I take back as a take-home message from the meeting of today and from the panel discussion. We have so many ideas. We should bring them together and should think about new approaches. And that is a good chance also to generate value in both in industries in Chile as well as in Germany.
Thank you very much. I think it was...
May I just add one point as a Christmas present that I would love to have. You see, my job as a hydrogen ambassador is to form human capital. So it's not only the technology, we need people. And it's quite a lot of work we have to do. And I would love to have the help of KIT for training so many people, not only this high level stuff that we're doing, we need a lot of people who understand technology. And that is something that we can get from Germany, cooperation in how do we train people for this completely new technology that is coming.
Yeah, that is a very good point, Erwin, because that is what we also discussing with our government in the state of Baden-Württemberg in Germany. Because if we want to go into this new industry, we need the people who can operate all the different plants and which are able to use hydrogen. We do not have them at the moment, and I think that is also a very important thing, so that an international alliance for training is also a very important issue. So thanks for this comment.
So thank you very much all. Unfortunately, time is over for today, but there was already a very interesting discussion. I didn't see any raised hand from the audience, so we skipped the question from the audience to continue discussion, but I think it was a very fruitful discussion. Of course, I would have loved to ask more questions and have more time of discussion with you. And we have no networking session right now, but I think most of you will meet again tomorrow. And if there is any question, you know all the contact details of all the participants right now. You can go through the project leader of IECO. So thank you very much from my side for this very interesting discussion. And I hope that we intensify collaboration between Chile and Germany and KIT following this work and this project. Thank you very much.
Thanks also from my side. Thank you, Dr. Plett. Thank you, Professor Hirth. Thank you, dear panelists. And thank you, dear interested audience. I think that was short, obviously, but I think it was a great appetizer for more ideas to come. So we simply continue our dialogue in tomorrow's session and then in the General Assembly. And then we're looking forward to the year 2022. Thank you so much.
May I add something? can I have just
of course
30 seconds? I mean, just want to say thanks. And as I said before, this is a huge instance, like, to develop this relationship. Of course, we have to, as Erwin said, technical cooperation is one of our best things to do, and we're aiming to achieve that. And of course, there is a challenge in how to build an R&D roadmap. Yeah, so with milestones, pilots, and activities to develop. So please, like Thomas, I will take your hand and I will let you, the minister, to know all of the things that we have talked here, and we're very keen on still going ahead with all the things that have been said here. So thank you, everyone, and yeah, have a good day, good afternoon.